Hi, welcome to the Good Time podcast by the good people behind Spring
Sprang,
Sprang. I'm your host Sugi.
and I'm YK.
So, main topic of the week.
Spring Sprang Sprung.
How did we end up here?
Long story.
Long story.
It's a fateful lunch, right? We had
Yeah.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, back in 2022, right?
Yeah, correct.
And I think it started off with I think one request from the local brands, micro brand owners.
I can't remember which brand, but it was, vaguely. Actually, it was more of like a collector's asking also, right?
Collectors,
Like,
okay.
when are we going to see a fair that is
Right.
mainly micro brands? Right?
Okay.
Because most watch fairs are generally not focused on micro brands. And also, since we have so many micro brands in Singapore, why not have a fair that we can focus on?
Mm.
Yeah.
But how did they decide that, two of us would be the best candidate to run this and, not just for the first one, but subsequently for...
I don't think it was a decision by anyone. To me, I think it's just the two of us being capo, right? It's just
Kepo
kinda
and
like,
thinking that we don't have enough on our plate, right?
Yeah, maybe we are too free.
Or too free, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so the idea just basically spring out.
Yeah, correct.
And there you
Just
go. Spring,
Yeah,
right?
just spring.
And then after you spring, you sprang and then sprung,
Yeah.
right? That's the whole idea of spring,
Just
sprang, sprung.
jumping
Right?
out of nowhere. Right?
Uh-huh.
Idea. Yeah.
Okay. And yeah, there you go. I mean, this year is our third year.
Time flies, right?
Time flies. And growing from I think participation of about 20 brands in the first year.
About 20, slightly over 20 for the
Then
first year.
We had 35 brands for the
35
second
last
year.
year.
And this year?
We have 41. There we go. Yay.
Okay, I mean, we have grown in terms of participation size, but
Yeah.
also the venue size.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, it's unfortunate that we couldn't, stick with the previous venue, which is at our beloved friend's office and
Yep.
also gallery, XM Studio. Very thankful for the first year, first 2 years support actually given to us, right? But unfortunately, because the requirement of the space is different now, we need bigger space, and we have decided to move to National Library of Singapore, which is fantastic location, central, and they have a beautiful setup as well in terms of lightings, natural lighting, not the those man-made lighting,
Yeah.
which is perfect for watches, right?
Yeah.
And
It's perfect because it has all those
High
tall,
ceiling
high ceiling
as well,
plus with
yeah.
those, and all the natural lighting. Yeah. And also it has a much bigger space this time, so
Yep.
we won't have to rub shoulders between participants and the brand owners, right?
But of course, next year again, the search will be
Yes.
continuing as well, because I don't think we can stay put in the same location next year. So if
We are not sure, but I don't think so. So yeah, let's keep searching.
let's keep searching.
Yeah.
So what would be your memories from the first two of the event? Of course,
It's quite draining, honestly, for us to organize events year after year, right? And it's kind of like back to back. After the end of one event, we have to start preparing the next year's event.
Yeah.
Right. So although there's a lot of things happening, but I'm still glad that everything went smoothly for the last 2 years. So there were some hiccups here and there, but I think I'm still glad that it was a very good learning experience for us, right?
For sure.
Especially in terms of organizing, marketing, right?
I think a lot of people only see the event taking place over the 3 days, right?
Yep.
But they didn't realize
The planning happens.
weeks, months, happen. Things happen before that as well.
Yeah.
Of course, we have good people working with us as well.
Yes.
Our marketing partners,
Yes. Pushing Pixels.
Pixels.
Thanks to them, we have a studio.
Yeah, this is where we
This
are.
podcast.
A podcast studio dedicated to us,
Yeah.
the Good Time podcast.
VIPs.
VIPs. Yeah. So what would be the plan for the next ones, do you think, for us?
You mean this year?
Next year and then subsequent
year,
years?
next
Is it going to
year.
be still an annual affair for us, or
Hopefully, yes. I think we have started the ball rolling, and I think the momentum is good. So I really hope that we can keep the ball rolling every year.
Okay.
So at least we can get more and more awareness, not in terms of just the event, but also awareness for all the brands participating. Right.
yeah,
So yeah, so at the moment, I still feel that we are still a very young kind of watch fair, right? Where we are still new, barely 3 years, right? So I think there is still a lot of opportunities for us to grow. Especially this year, I think unfortunately we have some clash of dates with some events.
overseas?
So yeah, so some of the brands couldn't come this year.
Yeah,
But in fact, we could have gotten much
a lot more
bigger.
participation,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
Of course, I mean, it's good to know as well that this year is a special one because our big brother, the Hourglass, is also organizing their own
Yeah, the I am watch. Yeah.
I Am Watch, and it will be at the same time as Spring Sprang Sprung as well.
Yep.
So that is something that I can envision, to be continuing for the future.
Yep.
And hopefully we can get some sort of support from perhaps the Singapore Tourism Board. And it will be a cool idea to have Singapore Watch Week, right?
Yep.
Because Dubai has their own Watch Week.
Yes.
I think Geneva also, right?
Yep.
So I think Singapore, should have one.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
I'm Watch, Spring Sprang Sprung, and who knows, maybe another fair will be incorporated inside as well.
Yeah. It would be good to have multiple fairs running at the same time.
Yeah.
Basically, because we know that we have a lot of friends traveling this period, and they will want to coincide their travels with watch fairs. At the same time, they can visit multiple fairs at one time.
Yeah.
And especially things like I'm Watch, they are quite big also.
Yeah.
And at the same time, they are also about independent personalities, right? Not
Yes.
just about watches,
Yes.
right? So it's not just only a buy-sell kind of event or fair,
Yeah.
but mainly spreading the awareness and community, right? Building the watch community.
Yeah, I think they try to break down the barriers between the brand owners and the collectors, right?
Right.
Because in the past, it's a lot to do with commercial.
Yeah.
You're talking about marketing, branding.
Yeah.
People do not really know and interact with the brand owners.
Yeah.
But with this kind of fair, the wall is being put down. You get to meet the people behind
Yeah.
each brand as well, and this is what we do as well in Spring Sprang Sprung.
Yes.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
So I think enthusiasts, not only in Singapore but also from the region,
Yeah.
right? If one day there will be Singapore Watch Week, I'm very sure someone, the collectors, enthusiasts in, say, Indonesia or Malaysia, they will make it a point to visit us during this period,
Yeah.
right?
In fact, we have already gotten some messages.
Oh, yes,
from
I remember
some
that.
of our friends.
I think the recent one is the Australian.
There was someone from Australian and someone from Maldives.
Yeah,
Someone
it's
from
amazing.
Thailand.
Yeah.
So it's quite amazing, and yeah, and interestingly, this year I have received multiple invites for new watch fairs across the region.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, it's kind of like catching up and building the momentum across the region, not just in Singapore. Right?
Yeah.
So I know that there are multiple watch fairs running this year for the first time, the very first time. Yeah.
Do you see them as competitors?
No, not really.
Yeah. Because
Because at the end of the day, it's awareness and community
exactly,
building.
I think the awareness will be growing together. More people know about micro brands.
Yeah.
And we forgot to mention the word micro brand from the beginning, actually. Right? I think we missed out on that part, very important part, because this is the main reason why we are doing this. Right?
Yeah.
To really support and bring up all the micro brands out there,
Yeah.
right?
So-
to the larger community.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, right, we all know, I'm a micro brand owner myself. We all know that there is limited opportunities for micro brand to really market themselves.
Yep.
Right. So having a micro brand watch fair is really important for the brand owners themselves, right? So it's like a collaborated effort, a combined effort where everyone can give a little bit but get much more out of it. Yeah. At the end of the day, right?
Yeah. I think for enthusiasts also, the benefit of meeting the founder of the brand is about confidence.
Yep.
Many of the micro brands started off on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
You know, and you know how Kickstarter recently
Yeah.
has been getting flamed, right, by the community for being, I don't know, like some people call it scam, right? I mean, only few bad apples, but the rest
It's quite negative at the moment.
the stereotyping, the generalization happened there for Kickstarter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So by having that interaction with the brand owners, I think the confidence level
It
will go up
gives
as well.
them more confidence
Yeah.
up close, right? At least they know that the person is real.
Yeah.
It's not someone that is behind the computer, right? Trying to create a scam.
So I think that is one of the key benefits for any micro brand owners, right? To be, considering, participating in any watch fairs,
Yeah.
right? Because we like to tell our participants as well that sales is important, but at the end of the day, it's not just about sales, right? Because the benefits for that 3 days, being able to interact with your customers, with your potential customers, is very important.
Yes.
And also the benefits of interacting with the other micro brand owners. That's provides a huge, tremendous benefits as well.
Yeah.
Because when you interact with the other brand owners, you might end up in terms of maybe collaborations. We have seen it already with some of the brands, right? Havan Tuwali and one brand from
Constella.
I think, okay, there you go. I think Havan makes the tobacco down
The tobacco down.
on the watch case by the other brand.
Constella. Yeah.
Constella.
Yes.
No, before that there was another guy. I think Canada. I think Canada or US.
Yeah. I can't remember the name. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, the benefits of broadening your media network as well. I think that's something that a micro brand would probably can take advantage of as well by having a presence in a watch fair, right?
In fact, many collectors, they are actually quite excited to meet the brand owners, right?
Yeah.
Especially for a lot of them, they were interacting with these brand owners online through emails, messages, but they have not really seen the actual person behind the brand.
Yeah.
Right. So giving them
Even the watch, maybe they haven't seen the
Yeah.
watch, right?
so some of them they just pre-order based on photos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And given the chance, I think many people would be very excited to see the owners, the brand owners, and especially if you can see over the past watch fairs, right? There were so many photo requests
Yeah. Yeah.
from the collectors,
Yeah.
right? So they were very eagerly taking photos with the brand owners.
Yeah.
I think to them it's kind of like
Idol, right? They
you can
see
say
them
there's
as
an idol,
Yeah.
but it's not just an idol. It's more like an achievement to be able to meet
It's like
the
celebrity.
person, yes,
Yeah.
to create your watch, right?
Mm.
Yeah. And then nowadays, because even as a brand owner myself, I also learn a lot from other brands, right? Through the interactions we have during the watch fest, right?
Also from your collectors as well, I think.
Yes.
Because they will give you feedback.
Yeah.
Right. They will tell you, maybe you should improve on this, on that.
Yeah.
Right. Now a good brand owner, a good brand will actually listen and
Yes.
they try to accommodate.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically, most of them, if you realize they would be more reluctant to give feedback online, especially in public
Sure.
forums and
Yes,
everything.
yes,
But
yeah.
whereas when they meet you in person, it's more close and more comfortable for them to share feedback
Yeah.
with you face to face. And,
Yeah.
you can see their reaction,
Yeah.
how passionate they are, how much they love the watch, and how much they wish that it could be improved, right? So this kind of facial expression and kind of communication,
You can get it
you can't get it from
through that virtual
online or
thing,
virtual platform.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's something that I think physical watch fair is still very important for both the collectors and the owners themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Mm. So I guess you know how we like to incorporate more things into the program for the fair, right? So besides that chance to meet the brand owners, we also have panel talks.
Yep.
We have the workshops as well that we did last year. What other programs you think we can incorporate inside for future fair?
Basically, I think for watch fairs, we do not generally restrict ourselves in terms of content, right? So in fact, we actually welcome any artisan who are interested to conduct any workshops with us during the 3 days fair. You're free to approach us. That's how it happened for the enamel and the leather strap workshop, right?
Yeah. And I think entertainment as well is something that we have already done it.
Yeah.
I mean, we tried it on the second year with our good friend, Sheng Li.
That was first year.
First year, right? Yeah,
was
first year. You're right.
Yes.
We did an impromptu busking, right?
Yes. Correct.
So I think probably this year we can do something similar as well.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Because it will bring out the atmosphere, right? Right, of just being a casual watch fair.
Yeah.
Not being too serious. There's no kind of like restrictions.
Yeah. I think the brand owners appreciate that part as well. Like, it's not too stiff. There's no restriction in terms of like dress code. Of course, the visitors also enjoy that kind of atmosphere as well. Informal, casual.
It makes everyone more relaxed actually as a whole, right? It's not just the collectors. Even the brand owners, they get kind of stressed out sometimes, right?
I noticed that some of them even like come back for the 3 days, back to back, and many of them actually stay for hours, right? They see that weekend, that 3 days as
it's like a fun fair.
Fun fair, right?
It's like a fun fair for watch lovers.
Yeah,
right.
So, and it helps that the fair is free as well. We don't collect admission.
Yep.
Yeah.
Free for all. We welcome anyone who are into watches and anyone who are starting to get into watches, and anyone who are not into watches. So we welcome everyone.
And we also welcome ideas in terms of like what sort of topics that you like to listen to when we do all these programs, right? For the panel, for the
basically there will be panel discussion, and we hope that we can get the experts like what we have in the past 2 years, right, to talk about certain topics which people are interested in. So anything is free for all, right? We can talk about anything that is related or anything that anyone is interested to know about watches, or even the hobby, not just watches, right? It can be leather straps, it can be watch collecting, it can be the craft, right? It can be anything. Yeah.
The people as well, of course.
Yeah.
Right? Because there are some interesting personalities, like what we had last year. We had Jonathan T.
Yeah.
Who is a very well-known vintage watch dealer who came and then shared his views and opinions and his experience as well, actually, in the vintage watch industrial market.
And then we have Jeremy, right? Watch collector.
Amazing number of collections there.
His collection is amazing, and I think these are the people who are actually really willing to share their knowledge, right?
Yeah.
So in the normal circumstances, most people would not be able to approach them directly. So, but during a panel discussion, it is more open, right? In fact, Jeremy was accepting a lot of questions.
Yes. Even the moderator, remember George Tan?
Yes.
Now, a little bit about George Tan, right? I mean, he's well known as probably the biggest Omega watch collector in Singapore.
Yeah.
So before I got to know him like in person, I had this impression of someone who is very serious, right? Very intimidating in a way, because maybe his physical size is tall, is big, right? But when you get to know him, it's completely the opposite.
Yeah.
So I think the fair actually brings out that kind of best out of people. Like you get to know the person in person.
There's always a normal side of you and a watch collector side of you.
Yeah.
I think during the fair we have seen very much on the watch collector side of George, right? Where he was going around with the mic last
I remember
year,
that.
engaging everyone, having so much fun. It's really not like what you were seeing in the daily life of George, maybe. Yeah.
So we'll have him again this year, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. Challenges? Okay, maybe challenges.
Challenges would be mainly, as you know, there's only the two of us. So there's only
of course, I
Suki,
think
YK,
along the
YK,
way
Suki.
we have help as well from what you and Brad met.
Pushing pixels.
George Tan.
Yes.
Now this year we have Daryl.
Yeah.
Of course we have Wei Xiang as well. First year.
So we are actually quite fortunate to have a lot of volunteer help from everyone. To be very honest, we want to thank everyone who have helped us since 2022 until the third edition, right?
Yeah.
So in fact, I think a lot of people have stepped up and volunteer to help us, right? So it makes our job much easier this year, right? To have more help, right? And I think the main challenge would be about engaging brands, right? As you know, we have 41 brands this year, as mentioned, right? So the brands will only grow more and more, right? The number of brands. So, but there's still the two of us managing the event. So I think that could be one of the challenges which I think we will sort out eventually. But I think if you ask me about challenges, I think managing all the brands and the like how you manage on the first year, the communication part, right? Broadcasting.
Well, we're trying to get them, equal airtime.
Yep.
But at the same time, once again, there are only two of us, right? And this is only a 3-day affair. I think the main responsibility in terms of like marketing, branding, falls onto the shoulder as well.
Yeah.
Right. This is the main responsibility, not us. We are only a platform to assist them, but the follow up, I think, has to be done by them. By follow up, I mean, like collecting names, contacts of any prospective collectors, buyers, and also the media, and of course the brand owners as well, right?
Yeah.
So I think the platform is also a networking kind of platform where you can make use out of it as well by increasing your database, for example.
So I think you're right in terms of engaging. I think one of the challenges maybe is not just us, right? It's for the brand owners to really step up and engage more of the audience.
Yeah.
Because as you know, we have an attendance of 1,500 people last year. And this year we are kind of expecting much more people to join us this year.
Yeah.
So we really hope that let's not waste the 3 days. Everyone just step up and try to engage as much people as you can, right? Because if not, it will be a wasted opportunity for 3 days.
Yeah.
Right. And also at the same time, we are also fine tuning our marketing campaigns. Like the podcast itself is something that new that we're trying, and also we are also spending a much more budget, much bigger budget this year on marketing.
Yeah.
Right, in terms of all venues, right? In terms of ads, promotions, and everything.
Yeah.
So the event could only happen because of everyone, right? It's a combined effort. So I just hope that we can see this as a collective effort, not just a fair that is run by Suki and YK. Yeah. So I really hope that we can continue this and make the fair bigger. And create Singapore Watch Week, hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah.
So brand owners out there, prepare your story and rehearse them well, and then follow through with all the context that you have gathered. Then it will be a good fair for you.
Yeah.
Right. So I think challenges on the cost thing. Singapore has been known as the most expensive city to live in, and that includes the to operate your business as well.
Yeah.
So we like to see this as a passion project, right? We don't put profit as a priority here. Never, even from the beginning, and never. We lost money on that venture first one, right? But we continued.
Yeah.
So how do you think we should tackle this challenge, man? Cost. Yeah.
For
Because as a
costing-wise,
micro brand owners, resources are limited as well, right?
I think we can't avoid the topic of cost, right? When you run an event, I think this is very much for every event organizer, right? In terms of costing, how much marketing we need to do and things like that, it's always a chicken and egg issue, right? So if we don't put enough money into marketing, right, then we will not get a very successful campaign, right? But if we were to put too much money, then of course the cost of the booths and everything will be higher.
It's about striking a balance.
Yeah, so I think we are still very new, as well I mentioned, 3 years, and we are still trying to strike a balance between the marketing cost, the rental cost, and the cost to run the fair. Right. So as much as possible, like what you mentioned, right? We are really running from passion, right? And in the first year, we ran from our pockets, unfortunately. So we do hope that we can get more brands. That is one way that we can get more funds, right?
To achieve that economies of scale, right?
Economies of scale. And of course, to get more brands, then we need a bigger venue. So again, it's a chicken and egg issue. But then I think over the last few years, we have learned quite a lot in managing the funds and finances. And I think we should be good enough to be able to handle and know what's the balance between both. It's always a challenge to explain the cost. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you remember our meeting with STB, Singapore Tourism Board, they made reference to another fair organizer, right? The boutique fairs. And they mentioned something very important there, that it has to be sustainable. If you want to keep it up, we want to do more, right? So I think costs, like you say, we have to strike the balance. But at the same time, because we want to do it for many more years, right? So we have to be really looking at like managing our costs properly, and of course the fees that we are charging as well, right?
Correct. Yeah. So I think there's something that we cannot avoid at the end of the day, right? If we want to grow, we have to grow as a collective effort. Right. So there is no kind of like easy way out. To manage the fair, right? And at the same time, if we need the more brands, definitely we will need more people to manage the fair, right? Because like this year, we already have hired part-timers to manage the fair because it is getting too big for the two of us to handle. So all these are actually part of the cost that will come with it. I mean, end of the day, we just make sure that I think it will still be affordable to micro brands. I think that's the key focus of our fair, right? To help micro brands, right? And at the same time, we hope that every micro brand can get something out from the fair, right? Whether is it more sales, or whether is it more awareness, or whether is it getting a brand out there, especially for new brands. Right, we hope that everyone would have achieved what they wanted to do. Right. Which is the vision of our fair. Right.
You bought?
Yeah.
I have a game.
You want to play a game?
Yeah, you know this game?
I don't.
I'll say 3 things.
Okay.
And out of these 3 things, 2 are truths. 1 is false.
Okay.
Again, you have to guess which ones are the truths, which one is false.
Let me start first.
Sure.
Okay. So I'll tell you 3 things. Right. So you have to guess which is false.
Correct.
So the first one, I have 8 pets in my house. 8 pets, okay? The second one, my arm was broken by the doctor once, right? And the third one is I have 50 soft toys at home.
Wow. So specific, right? 50 soft toys?
Yeah.
Or adult toys?
Soft toys.
Soft toys.
Yeah.
The
Soft
first
adult
two
toys.
are true,
Yeah.
truths,
Yes.
and the last one is false.
Oh, you're right. That's so accurate.
Yeah, I know you, right?
So I do have a lot of soft toys at home, but I think it's more than 50. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's about 100 also. Yeah.
What kind of soft toys?
No, it mostly belongs to firemen.
Oh, like you
so-
like those
Those, you know, when we go to
yeah.
arcade, you try to catch those soft toys. Yeah. And sometimes when you have the tickets, you have to exchange for soft toys. Yeah.
Okay.
So I do have 8 pets at home. I have 6 fishes and 2 turtles. Right. And my arm was broken by a doctor once because it was not healed properly during a fracture. So the doctor had to break it to fix it back again. Yes.
I think I remember that part. You mentioned that before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the scary part.
There.
Okay, your turn.
So I drive a BMW.
Drive.
Right? Mode of transport is BMW.
Okay. True. Okay, continue.
Number 2, I know a lot about SandPro, sanitary protection.
Okay. Next.
I'm 32 years old.
So the last is false.
Yes.
Hey, you're giving me a chance.
But what makes you think I know a lot about SandPro?
That's why I'm curious. Actually.
Yeah. Huh? Well, I mean, I before I set up Red Army Watches as my business, I used to be an analyst for a research company dealing in a lot of FMCG group goods, so fast moving consumer goods, including SandPro.
I see.
So I mean, it's just odd, right? That I just picked that up, I mean, it's a long list lah, like food lah, packaged food. It can be toilet paper, but yeah, SandPro, I guess, like he would say no, that's false.
But the last one is too obvious.
So join us for the next podcast because we have lined up a lot of interesting personalities from the brand, from the collector side of the community as well, and perhaps maybe on the side of the retailers as well. Like maybe someone from Hourglass, our big brother, is organizing the I'm Watch. Who knows?
Yeah. Join us. See you next time.